So today I'm going to show you a super simple way to paint leather. And I'm going to be painting the leather on this Primaris Marine. I'm going to be hitting this little strap on his gun and his bolt pistol carrying case. I'm going to be using 3 paints: Dryad Bark, Agrax Earthshade, and Scrag Brown. And I'm going to be using 2 brushes, a medium sized brush and a really kind of small brush with these short little bristles. The first color that we're going to use is Dryad Bark. Now this will be the base for our leather. You can thin this out if you like, but for this I feel like it works fairly well even when it's not thinned. And you're just going to hit everywhere that you want to be leather colored. And you can see it's already looking a lot better. And you're going to want to just make sure you cover everything. Always remember to shake your paints too. And then we're going to make sure we get the back side of these straps too, so that the whole thing is painted. I know, especially when I first started painting, that was a problem I'd have. I'd go through and I'd paint a color and I'd miss little spots and just not notice it. And then like later you're looking at the model and you turn it at a specific angle and it's missing it. But this is what it looks like so far with just the Dryad Bark. So we're just going to let this sit and dry for a couple minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to hit it with the Agrax. Our first layer of Dryad Bark has dried. If it looks a little thin to you, you can always hit it with a second layer and get that color kind of a deeper brown. But I'm going to hit it with Agrax Earthshade now. And this, if the model has like any little bumps, it'll help show where they're at. And you can put as much or as little of this on as you want. I'm putting kind of a medium amount on here. And we're just going to hit everywhere that's brown. I'm going to get a little more on my brush. And that'll just help give it a little bit of a deeper color, and it'll help shade the recesses, so it'll give it more depth of color too when we're done. And then just like before, we're going to let it dry, and make sure you let it dry all the way before this next step. And then we're going to come back and we're going to do the Scrag. Okay, so for our final step, we are going to put the Scrag Brown on. Now I'm using that little tiny brush I was showing earlier. If you don't have one of these, I would just say get whatever small brush you can, unless you're doing a really large area. And I'm going to take just a little bit of the paint and get it in the bristles and then rub it off right on the side, just so there's only a little bit of paint on my brush, because this paint, it's a lot brighter than the Dryad. And so we're going to go where the Dryad is, and we're just going to hit the edges, and this will give it kind of a worn look. And we're going to pull it out towards the edge too, so that the paint, there's more of it right on the edge. And then we're going to go all around all the edges. And you're going to run out of paint doing this too, especially if you didn't add too much to your brush. And then I'm going to like essentially dry brush it a little bit with this while there's still a little bit of paint on it. And that'll hit the really raised areas, and it gives it a nice worn look. I'm going to hit all the edges like that. And then that's what it looks like right now. And then we're also going to hit this little strap the same way. I'm going to get a little more paint though. Same thing, get a little bit on the brush and then wipe it off so there's only a tiny little bit. And then we're going to hit the edges so that the edges are the brightest spot, because as leather wears, its edges get really bright compared to the rest of it. Sorry about that, I didn't realize it was kind of sitting out there. And then get these sides too. And then the same thing, we're just going to kind of dry brush it. When you're doing this step, make sure, this is where it's really important to have not very much paint on your paintbrush. Because if you have too much, it'll just end up being scrag brown. And you kind of want that dryad undertone, because it looks like that when you're finished. And that's just a super easy way to do leather. It's 3 colors. It takes about 5 minutes, including dry time. And then it looks pretty good, in my opinion. So if you guys try it out, let me know what you think and leave a picture in the comment. I would love to see your guys' models. And if you have any questions or you want to know how to paint anything else, let me know and I'll try to do it. Thanks for watching.